Wow. Okay. That was Rebecca DeLuca from the Las Vegas. Oh my gosh. I am just like, I don't know about you, Jeremy, but that was a wealth of information. And we're only on guest number 2. Can you
Yeah,
imagine the rest of the day what it's
a
going to
lot,
be like? I mean, my
a
mind
lot.
is swirling with that information. Students, I can't even imagine you not taking advantage of contacting already David and Rebecca. What do you think, Jeremy?
A lot. I have a lot of notes. I'm not going to be able to go through probably a quarter of them, so I'm going to do my best to button it up before I get the "we got to move on" sign. So let me try. It's in a nutshell to give you a couple of things I pulled from it.
Absolutely.
Also,
And
I
there
noticed
were tons of
what's that?
questions that happened as well. So
A ton.
I don't know how
So
we're gonna have a whole nother episode over this.
I have a couple that I saw that I already like kind of started thinking about.
Great.
If there are sales or event specific questions, which I did see in there, I would recommend reaching out to Rebecca. I could help answer it as a recruiter, but like she basically just offered her social to you. So, and she's an industry leader in this specific niche. So, like my advice, like a lot of times when candidates are looking, they're niche focused. I'd say, I can give you like a broad idea on how to search and how to get past the gatekeepers and how to get to the hiring authorities and how to interview. And I can get you there. But when it comes to specific niche questions, like that's what's so good about these videos is you can go right to the source, and I'm sure she'll reply because she
Oh
made
yeah.
herself available. So yeah, a couple of things. The biggest thing I pulled from it, I'm going to try to articulate this real quick. Overall, in a nutshell, her confidence in the demand for meeting and convention sales and business, that should just make you excited. And I'll tell you why. Like that industry, and if Rebecca's watching this recap, she knows I'm right, was completely obliterated after COVID. Like I'm talking like out of all of the hospitality roles that were out there, they got hit the hardest. Meetings. So to hear the confidence and the demand in that is crazy to me. I mean, it's been a very slow grind, and we touched on it in different ways, and like some of them came back, but now it seems like leisure is back, business is back, which business was completely obliterated. So anyway, that's the main thing I pulled from it, is just her confidence in it, and the fact that she was saying she's still hiring and looking for more work. I mean, we're looking for employees, right? That she couldn't handle all the workload. That should be encouraging to those that are in meetings and sales. Also, she was asked, about being involved in the community. I did take some notes on. She mentioned that she's very involved with advisory councils and foundations. And to me, what I took from that is because as graduates or students, right now it's going to be really hard for you to be part of an advisory council or foundation. I mean, it's not going to be something that just happens, right? But what you can take from that is it emphasizes the fact that face-to-face and networking is huge, and it's back. A lot of us, me included, but I'm conscious of it, are behind our phones or laptops, our computers, and we tend to get introverted. It's not easy for a lot of us to go out and be extroverted and go meet people and network, but it's back, and it's super important. And I'll tell you why. The majority of the people are hiding behind their screens. Even in recruiting, like how many times are you hearing recruiters calling you? Not much, right? They're probably sending you an automated email or a text. If I'm right, you could shoot it in the chat. It's happening. People just aren't picking up the phone and calling. So my point is that's a good thing for you, because if you cut through the noise and you actually do pick up the phone, or you do leave a message, or you go and network and you go out there and you're face to face, you will be leaps and bounds ahead of your competition. So that aspect of it is completely back. In fact, I remember when like job boards came out. I mean, I remember I was in recruiting when like monster was just brand new and no one knew what a job board was. So at that time, that was when it was like very important to be on the job boards. That was different and new, and that's how you set yourself apart. My point is now we're kind of reverting back. Deborah, if you want to jump in, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit and see if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We were hit very hard, and that's what prompted this show to start in the first place, to bring our community together. And here we are 5 years running, still very strong. We are one of the top 5 most stressful professions in the world. And it's, COVID was not our first rodeo. We've been through things before, scars, HIV, recessions. I mean, the list goes on and on. But what that does for you, it makes you a stronger person. Really does, to where you can handle anything when you're in this industry. And you mentioned it earlier on another recap that we're about a team, and no one succeeds alone. You can't swim alone. We are all together in this together. And I learned that quite a bit during the last pandemic. And I'm sure what you're saying is going to resonate for students because they've been thinking it.
I know. And I'm sure that there's some people out there listening like, oh man, I don't want to go to a networking meeting, or I don't want to go call. And like, let's be honest. I bet you that half the people that go to them probably are hesitant at first because it's scary. Like you don't want to sound like you don't know what you're talking about. You're nervous. Like, what do I bring? What can I contribute? Even me, I've been around for a while, and I get nervous sometimes. Like, it's like,
but you just got to remember you're not the only one. Like
you're human.
Avera, I hope I'm saying Avera's name right. She loved hearing Rebecca say that as a student, you need to reach out and make moves for yourself. So
that's what I was going to say. That right there, I quoted it. Yeah. Quote, take ownership of your career, end quote. Yeah. Be proactive. You need to take ownership of your career. That is what I'm saying right now about going out there, picking up the phone, calling people, showing up, meeting. It's not comfortable, but you got to be uncomfortable to be successful. You have to get past that. Some of you are natural extroverts. Hey, God bless you.
Right.
I'm sure Deborah is. You
Majority
probably
of us are really though. We might think we are, but there's a lot of introverts.
You seem like you are, Deborah. Come on.
I look like it, right?
Yeah.
Now, she's back. Oh, I'm so glad she's here. She said Rebecca did a loving advice. How there are so much opportunity for anyone who is seeking for different days. How can you build up the confidence when you want to be behind the scenes? Again, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, loving advice.
Good question.
Build up the confidence. Honestly, it's swinging the bat.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. You want me to tell you a quick story? I'll be really, really quick.
No, this is good.
Okay, I'll be quick. Lydia, this will help you. And you could call my bluff. You'll call my bluff. Go to my YouTube channel. During COVID, I did not have a YouTube channel. All right, but I knew that I needed to do this because video was the only way to reach potential clients. Nobody was doing it at the time. Like in my niche, not saying nobody, but in my niche, nobody was doing it, especially in hospitality recruiting. Long story short, I forced myself to open up a YouTube page because I knew that if I could get out there, I would be able to meet people that I never would have met before, right? I purposely left my first video on my channel just for situations like this for you, Lydia. It's horrible. Yeah. The first video is horrible, and I kept it up there because I wanted to prove that like you just got to practice. Like now I can just talk, and I don't have notes. Before I do my videos, I just kind of wing it, and I'm comfortable being on video. I'm comfortable talking to you because I did it. So my point, Lydia, is like the first few times you have to go out there and network and be social and try to get in those uncomfortable situations where you're meeting people you don't know. The third time, fourth time, fifth time, it's just going to be easy. Yeah. And again, go call my bluff. Go to my YouTube channel. It's Jeremy Nichols. Click it. Go all the way back to the first video and watch how terrible it is. It's horrible.
Lydia, that was a great question, definitely. And then, of course, we've got Forrest here again. This is so exciting. Forrest, I'm glad you're participating quite a bit here. he definitely agrees with that. Proactively reaching out to organization has given me the best results. There you go. Proven right there for us.
Skylar asked a question. That was good. I don't know if you could pull that up. It was
we saw that, I think, on YouTube, right?
Yeah. What are some valuable questions to ask companies and professionals when reaching out to them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a hard one. So I wrote down some off the top of my head, and I'll give you a Skylar.
What? Give us a couple.
Okay. One of them was, how do you measure the success of your new hires?
Okay.
Right. So like, that's a good entry level question.
And leaders love to hear that.
What's that?
Leaders love to hear that because it's like they're thinking numbers.
How do you measure the success of your new hires? So like that right there is going to give them not only the hard skills, because like this is a soft skill question. Soft skills are the things that you cannot teach. You can't teach someone to care. Can't teach someone to be a team player. They just are. So like this is like a sneaky question in a positive way to get, okay, what are they looking for? And then you can kind of know in your head, okay, am I meeting that? Also, like, what growth plans do you have for the next 1 to 3 years? This is a good question just to hear where the company is at. Are they growing? Are they staying the same? Simple question. How do you differentiate your company culture from competitors? That's a good one too, because that puts them on the spot, because a lot of companies will say they have company culture and some of them will give you fluff answers. This one's a good one, which is it's not a rude way to ask. It's a good crafty way to say, how do you differentiate your company culture from your competitors? Right?
Yeah, I like it. Those are good ones.
Three good ones right there.
Those are good ones. And I want to also share with you, my buddy, David Kleiman is here. David, thank you so much for being here, watching the show. David says, accepting being uncomfortable to be successful is mission critical. Perfect. Thank you, David. That is so true.
It is true.
So
I mean, I'm telling you. I did not want to be on video years ago.
If you're watching this, write this down, put it on a sticky note throughout your apartment, your house, wherever you are staying. That will remind you each and every time. Just say that to yourself every day. It'll motivate you. It'll give you the confidence. So thank you, David. Appreciate that.
She also, Rebecca touched on, she made another comment. She said, if a student's curious of the hospitality industry, that there are endless opportunities and roles, they're basically saying there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Which there is. Right. So if you are not the extroverted salesperson like Rebecca and her team, there are roles that are not face forward. You have revenue, you have, dorms, you have facility managers, you have housekeeping management. Like these are roles that don't have to be so face forward, right? There are hands-on roles, working with your hands roles. There's roles that are culinary. There's roles that are operations, sales. Everything's covered. Finance, everything is covered.
Yes. Yep, it is. It is. So that was an unbelievable interview. And now we're ready to move on to the association world. And so we have a really nice surprise, a repeat on the show, because he is fantastic, and I'll let him tell you all about himself. And my goodness, we are so excited to have this next organization with us. So students, stay tuned. We're just getting started here on International Hospitality Students Day 24. Hang with us.
Here in beautiful Michigan, it's time to start your hospitality and tourism career, because there's no better time
to pour happiness,
to get in the game,
to spice things up,
make a splash, to share the flavor,
to create something good.
So what are you waiting for?